Okay, I'm going to show how to frame a painting into a floater frame, and that's primarily what I use. I also included in this video is how to do a canvas panel onto a frame that's flat using those bits. Learning the names of all these technical tools challenges me when I'm trying to show these things to you. But this is to answer, somebody asked me a question, can you just do a demonstration on framing the canvas? So I have a manual drill, which sometimes I use if I'm really struggling. Then I have just a regular drill. This is a cordless drill. I love this thing. Of course, it's pink. I have wire. I get a nice wire. There's different types of picture wire. This holds like the really strong paintings. I do have a thicker wire for like a really large picture, but this is fine. These are D-rings, and these actually come in a couple different sizes. Here's even a smaller one. But for this is like a 12 by 12. This is perfect. These are canvas holders, and these actually come in different sizes too. You can see the depth here. So if it's a thin, because all the frames are going to be different. Some of these frames, these are from Jerry's. They're the Illusions. They're expensive. They're wooden, but they're nice. But they already come with your hardware. But if they don't, you know, you just have to look to see what type of hardware you need. These are a game changer for me. These are self-drilling. I use a number 8 1.5 inch pan Phillips. There's different types, but it's a self-drilling nail. I don't know if you can see that. It makes such a difference than just a regular nail or the smaller nails that a lot of times come with the painting package, because these make your job a lot easier to put the accoutrements onto your frame. So, and these are the, you know, they're called D-rings. So here's the painting that I want to put in here. And here is the floater frame right here from Jerry's. And this is nice because you can get the floater frames in the 7/8 inch or the 1.5 inch if you're going to use a thicker canvas, but this is just a thinner canvas. So I just turn it over, and this is a simple one because of the size. But I go down, so this is the top up here. I only go down about about a third, where I start with the D-rings. And then these I put all the way around, and I put, that's the thinner one. I put it's like a longer and a shorter. I personally put the longer on the frame itself and the shorter on the canvas. So that's what it's going to look like. So let's go ahead and start by drilling in the canvas holders. If you have trouble holding the nail, which I do sometimes, I don't know if it's because I'm older or I have fibromyalgia, but if you do have trouble, then you can take a hammer and hammer the hole in, or start the hole with one of these, okay? But let's just say I'm okay today. Okay, let's start. And I like to do opposite sides. It's nice to get it as neat as you can. So measuring if you need to. You could peel that tag off, but it doesn't bother me. Some days working with the screws really do give me a hard time. A couple more. I like to hang it off the edge like this. As far over, you don't want it on the edge to pull. So I keep it as far over as I can. Okay, that's not one of the self-drilling nails. You can tell. It's so much easier with a self-drilling nail. Okay. If it's not a small canvas, you're going to want to measure this. But I'm eyeballing it, but you're going to want to measure this. Okay. Next thing is the wire. I always take a little tail. And a lot of people may do a knot, but I don't. I just wrap it around the same spot to try to make it as neat as possible. I hold it to its taut about right there. It's a little bit further. Okay, again, make a tail. You don't want any of this wire hanging out like that that could poke your painting. This is a small one, so. All right, nice and taut. There you go. And then I wanted to share with you how I actually added the hardware for the back of this canvas panel. Now, instead of being a full canvas, it's a panel, so it's flat. So I needed to add some way to attach the canvas panel to the actual frame. And you'll see there how thin it is. And what I used was a dual driver, and it puts these brads in there. And it's the best thing that I have found out there other than, I mean, staples just didn't seem to work. And it's just a great way to finish off your paintings if you're using boards, like board panels or anything like these canvas panels. So I hope you enjoy this, and I'll put a link down below to my Amazon store where I have marked it so you can find it, and a link to the different brads that you'll need to adhere it to the to any of your frames. So I hope you enjoy this, and I hope it's of good information. So here is my 8x14 canvas panel, and I picked out a nice frame, but I need to secure it in the frame. So I got a dual driver Elite, and it uses these points, and there's several types of points, and it's just very easy. What you do is you just pop the canvas into whatever frame you're going to use, and you just press down on the gun, and it's much easier than the staple gun, and it just inserts these little points into your frame and secures the panel. So I just did it on opposite sides just to make it balanced, and this is going to be much easier. I used to glue this, but it's going to make it so much easier for me if for some reason I wanted to remove this, someone wanted to buy the painting without the frame because they have their own, for whatever reason. This is going to be so much easier to remove. In fact, if you've glued it down or taped it, tape looks bad, glue is hard to remove. So again, this is just a very easy way to put your painting in a frame, and I'm so glad that I found this tool because it's made my life so much easier. Okay, I'm going to show you another framing. Now this is a little bit more difficult to explain, so if you have questions, don't hesitate to ask. I do a lot with these canvas panels, and they look like this. This is a large canvas panel, thin, and then I also do, this is a canvas board. It's harder, it's like wooden. So to frame these, here's two different types of frames. This is a floater frame. The last little frame that I framed, there was a lip on top of this where when you turned it over, the painting stayed in because there was a lip, and I used the little drill things, pointers, to keep the painting in. This, you're dropping the canvas right down into this frame. There is no way to put the pointers on the back. So it's the same way with this one. It is, there's no lip here to keep the canvas or the panel in. So there's two ways that I have found to do this. One is with these wooden dowels, and you can get these a 1/2 inch or a 1/4 inch. These are a 1/4 inch, there's 1/2 inch. If it's too long, you can just cut them down with I have a self drill, like a saw. Cut these down. You can use clear adhesive sealant, and the reason, or you could use wood glue, but the reason why I like this is it's silicone, so if you want to change your painting out, you can. And then here's foam tape, and let me tell you the difference between the two. It all depends on where you want the painting or the panel to sit. I like it to sit just a little bit recessed below the edge of the frame. So for this one, I used, if you can see down in there, these are a 1/2 inch dowels, like this. and I just took the panel and I used silicone sealant, and whatever length, this would have been a shorter one, I just glued it to the edge of the painting. Okay, hope you're following me. And then I glued both sides, and then I took the panel and just dropped it in, so you can see down inside there that this is glued down in, and then you can put your D-rings on and frame it, and it stays in there. If I wanted to change this out, I can, because I can pull it off. It would take a little work, but I can do it. This, however, when I used the 1/2 inch wooden dowels, it sat up too far. It's a preference thing. So I got these 1/4 inch, so I could have used either I could have used these dowels to use the sealant and glued them on all the way around. These are a perfect size, like this. I would have glued them onto the panel, and then I would have added the sealant on top and then drop it into the floater frame. Or what I did with this painting was I took, and you can get these in different sizes. You can use them for several things. Here's a couple different sizes. But I use this smaller. This is like maybe probably a 1/2 inch. It's sticky. It's foam tape. It's sticky on both sides. And I just put it all the way around my painting. So it's like double-sided tape, but it's foam tape all the way around the canvas panel. And then I just put it down and pressed. And you can see a portion of the foam tape here. So it's nice and secure in here. And then you can, of course, put your D-rings on in your wire. So those are several ways that I found personally that I frame my canvas panels and my wooden panels. There's so many different types of panels you can get. It took me a while to figure out what to do. So I just have, and I'll put it in the description box below, I just have a supply of these of 2 different sizes, 1/4 inch and a 1/2 inch. I have some of this double-sided foam tape, and I have some sealant, the silicone adhesive sealant. So whatever frame I get, if it's a floater frame, and a lot of times I sell a lot of my art without the frames, but these panels I will sell with the frame, mainly if somebody wants a frame because they don't want to go through this. A lot of people will just take these and prop them up on a shelf. That's a real popular thing to do nowadays. But if they want it framed, or if you're an artist and you want to frame your pieces, you can get frames like at Salvation Army, secondhand store, charity shops, wherever you are, and you're just going to have to look to see if it's something where the panel drops down in. This one is a drop down in, but it's more flush, or if it's like the other frames, like a regular frame that you get at a store, like the first painting that I did. So I hope all this makes sense. This took me a while to figure all this out, And so I wanted to share all this with you because it is, it was a requested video, and I just love this painting. Look at this. Look at the texture in here. That's a little off topic, but hope this helps. Give it a thumbs up if it was helpful to you. Hope it will save you hours of trying to figure out how to frame your artwork.